We have a massive New York Knicks signing update as the Knicks are targeting three-point sharpshooter Matt Ryan to add to their team after the Landry Shamet shoulder dislocation, and we have to break all of this down. So what's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into the video because the New York Knicks are interested in signing Matt Ryan as they only have 12 guys on the guaranteed roster, and this is obviously a massive update as this was not really talked about at all till just now. But guys, make sure to subscribe real quick. It does help out the channel a ton. 23% of viewers are subscribed. Let's get those numbers up, man. We can do it. But here's the deal, guys. Shams revealed just a few hours ago, not even like an hour ago, that Matt Ryan is somebody on the New York Knicks radar, and it sounds like he's been on the Knicks radar for a little bit ever since the New Orleans Pelicans waived him from the team, or at least that is what Ian Begley has told us. As Matt Ryan, as mentioned by Begley, prior to the Shamet injury, Matt Ryan had been on the Knicks radar as a potential two-way player if and when they cleared a two-way spot. Ryan is a sharpshooter and a former Iona Prep high school star, which is in New York, remains on New York Knicks radar and is a potential free agent addition, as ESPN had already earlier reported. Now, guys, here is the deal on Matt Ryan. He's someone who is very, very talented at shooting the three ball. Does he do much else? Not really. But he would be a guy who would be playing situational minutes with the Knicks. He'd be someone grinding out, trying to get that ninth man rotation spot. He would be kind of in a battle between him and Pacome Dadier, and Pacome looks so good. I can't wait to make a video on him, though we're going to decide that after the game, depending on if Pacome gets minutes, how we're framing that one. But guys, Matt Ryan is someone who is an excellent, excellent shooter, and his stats have shown it throughout his career thus far. Now, he only shoots 39% from the field, but from three, he shoots 41% for his career. Last season with the New Orleans Pelicans, shot 45% from beyond the arc, hit a game winner when he was on the Los Angeles Lakers, spent a literal game on the Boston Celtics in the 2021-22 season. Obviously, looking at the team, looking at the way things have gone, the Knicks need bodies. They need bodies more than they need anything else right now. They need guys who could show up and play minutes and guys who have been in the NBA, but there's also the caveat of they only have $3.5 million before they are into the second apron. So it's hard to sign a guy like a Marcus Morris who he's a longtime NBA veteran. So his minimum deal, that's going to be nearly $3.5 million as it is. So you go into the second apron when you want to convert Ariel Hukporti. So the Knicks were interested in Matt Ryan as a guy to take over a two-way spot. Now, the Knicks are going to convert Ariel Hukporti to an official deal, and the reason they're going to do that is because they don't really fully trust Jericho Sims at this point. And, I mean, honestly, it's kind of wild to see that go down, but at the same time, you know, you got to do what you got to do, and Hukporti looks good. It gives you another big man, especially while Mitchell Robinson is out until January. So bringing in someone like Matt Ryan would help a different position, and I love the idea of them bringing in Matt Ryan. Now, Landry Shamet was their guy. He was their ninth man. It was official until he went down. He got tangled up in a preseason game, went down and dislocated his shoulder. And though it appears that he will be able to avoid surgery, you never know. I mean, we heard that about Julius Randle too, and we never saw Julius Randle in a New York Knicks jersey again after that. So it's hard to predict these shoulder dislocations, as we've now learned. And something to be aware of is the fact that the Knicks have to go out there and they have to add someone to the roster. You cannot have 12 guys on the roster. You can only, for 28 days entirely in the season, have a less than 14-man roster. The Knicks have 12 guys. They're going to have to go out there and convert Hukporti, and then you got 13, and that's great. Who is man number 14? It's not going to be Kevin McCullough Jr. They're not going to guarantee another two-way spot because they could add a more proven NBA veteran, something the Knicks want to do to their bench, as last season when there was a bunch of injuries, they were uncomfortable digging into the end of their bench where it was Daquan Jeffries and Charlie Brown. They were not comfortable doing that. They want more proven NBA veterans who have been in big moments. It's why they went out there and signed Cameron Payne and Landry Shamet and all of them and added a bunch of vets to this roster, while they brought in for a little bit TJ Warren, Chuma Okeke, Marcus Morris, guys who the Knicks were interested in bringing on, but between the Karl-Anthony Towns trade and the way that money works, they had to waive them. They're not done looking for NBA veterans, and that's why they're still looking at bringing back Landry Shamet. It's why they're looking at bringing Matt Ryan in. It's why they're doing these things. The Knicks want to build as deep of a team as humanly possible in case the injury bug strikes, and at some points throughout the season, yeah, there's going to be games where there's a lot of injured players, and you can run your two-way guys, and Kevin McCullough Jr., two-way contract to be named later after Huck Porty's converted, and Jacob Toppin, and that's all great. I love that. But in the playoffs, you can't use two-way contracts, guys. You're going to have to go out there and fill out that rotation, hopefully eventually add a 15th man. It'd be shocking if the Knicks don't make some sort of trade throughout this season, so assuming they do, they'll be able to add someone else to their team. They're going to be able to figure that out. Probably trade Precious Achiuwa so they could get a little money off, maybe for a $3 million deal, so they could sign someone of their liking to the team, while also signing, whether it's Matt Ryan, whether it's Landry Shamet, whether it's someone like that, or Lonnie Walker, someone else who they could go after, or they could wait. They could wait and they could figure it out, but it doesn't make much sense to wait too long. Like, you're eventually going to trade Precious, and once you do that, you could have an open spot, or maybe you trade Precious for two guys who add up to $6 million, and boom, you got a 15-man roster. The Knicks have options here, and they're going to have to use all of them so they can get to a full roster. Now, look, I love the idea of bringing in Matt Ryan. I like the idea of having a pure sharpshooter on your team, someone who could step up, someone who will be in and out of the roster but can step up when it matters. He's going to be really helpful for this team if the Knicks go out there and sign him. It's a question to are they going to. I still think it makes way more sense to sign Lonnie Walker. Walker's a much better player than Matt Ryan. Shot 45% from the corner and 40% from three last season. So to me, Lonnie Walker's the guy you go after. And the Knicks still are. They're interested in Lonnie Walker. I could totally see them ending up signing Lonnie Walker because he's the best player available, and the Knicks want to make the best team possible. So Lonnie Walker's an option. He's someone who could easily fit into that ninth man spot. You could still always bring back Shamet if it turns out he's healthy. And if you make a trade, you could bring in two of these guys and then also Huck Porty, and you got a nice 15-man roster where the end of your bench is some promising rookies and Tyler Kolek, Pacome Dadier, Ariel Huck Porty. That's a pretty promising team when you also got role players out there like a Matt Ryan, like a Lonnie Walker, like Cameron Payne, like Deuce McBride, all that, Josh Hart, obviously. There's so many guys the Knicks can have and make this deep roster. It's just depending on if they do things right. And so far, the New York Knicks have been pretty phenomenal at doing things right. So I do trust that Leon Rose is going to get it done. I don't see the hate towards Leon Rose at all. I don't get why people don't understand he's the best general manager or president of basketball operations. He's the best shot caller for the New York Knicks front office that they've had since, at the very least, Pat Riley. And people just do not give their respect to Leon Rose for some weird reason. Anyone who's freaked out about McHale and all that stuff, I'm sorry, you're just incorrect. There's no other way around it. You're wrong. They're going to be wrong. McHale's going to be just fine. He's going to stay with the Knicks, and it's all going to work out just fine. But for right now, the Knicks need to figure out how to thicken out this roster because it's very thin right now, especially with Precious Achiuwa being injured for the next 2 to 4 weeks. They're going to need to find some answers. I mean, you got two guys in Mitchell Robinson and Precious Achiuwa on guaranteed contract out of your 12 players who are both injured, and they're both big men. Like, they're thin at that spot. I don't know why they haven't added Huck Porty yet. I imagine they're trying to just manipulate that 12-man rotation thing just for money and financial reasons. But they are going to, and when they do, obviously we're going to report on it and anything else that came out around that time. So make sure to subscribe, like this video, turn on post notifications. The NBA season starts in 2.5 hours. Guys, I cannot wait. Let's go, Knicks. Let's ruin a ring celebration, man.